just checking in with a reminder that you should enjoy what you do. You should try to do what you enjoy. And don't let people tell you what you're thinking. Don't apologize for what you're not responsible for. Which includes feelings. You're not responsible for the way somebody feels unless you intentionally or knowingly do something to them in such a manner. I don't know if that makes sense, but you don't say something to hurt somebody. If you say something and they get hurt, well, you didn't mean to. Understanding that should help alleviate the situation. I mean, yeah, it was what your words did hurt them, but you were not intending that to happen. And if they misinterpreted what it was you told them, it should be resolved by questions from them, like, "Oh, that really hurt. Why would you say something like that?" Makes sense to me. Does it make sense to you? You tell me. So. Just kind of rambling here. I need to vent. Thank you for being an outlet for me to vent to. There's only one thing that I'm serious about, and that is my fun. I try to have fun with whatever I do. I try to do the things that are fun to me. If I'm not having fun, well, then I need to seriously think about the situation so that I can improve it to the point that it is enjoyable. Some things we just have to get through. Make them as enjoyable as you can. Find a way around it. If you're doing something that you really don't want to do but kind of feel like you need to, but at the same time you're not directly opposed to it, because you don't want to do something that you flat out disagree with. Hey, do you want to take out the trash? No, but I will anyway. Or I will for you. Or I will because it needs to get done. When maybe you'd rather be doing something else. I use this time as I'm flying around in Shuttle Obi-Wan to communicate my thoughts and feelings, my ideas, and the quarrels that I have with the world. I think it's a decent use of the space that I would otherwise just be listening to music and enjoying. This is another way that I find I am able to relax. It alleviates some of my worries because I can shed them. I really don't have a following at this point. I'm not looking for a following. I don't want to. I'm not a leader. But I agree with the idea, and I don't know if others have it, but if you care, then you say something. And I care a lot. And in fact, I am accused of caring too much. And people say that you shouldn't give opinions when not asked for them. But that is contrary to the idea about saying something because you care. When you care, you should say something. When you're confused by something, you should say something. When you want to make sarcastic comments, you should be able to make sarcastic comments. And people should be able to take them as jokes. That's my opinion. The world's morbid. I mean, I have a morbid sense of humor. I enjoy it, but I mean, religion's really morbid. I mean, how many places, how many people or locations, just mentality approve of having a statue of somebody dead or dying as an artifact in your home. I mean, we have. Where is that acceptable besides Jesus Christ on the crucifix? Somebody's up on the crucifix. This is a graphic and horrible scene. It really is. Bleeding out of his hands and feet from the thorns poking into his head and from a wound that was inflicted into his chest. This is a reminder to people. Is it to inflict fear or compassion that this person did this for them? Because, I mean, where else is it acceptable? Who else would agree that having something as horrific as that up in your home, a person bleeding and dying, left for dead in a portrait or a painting or a picture or a sculpture, how is that something to smile at? Jesus had a good message. He tried to get that message out, and I think I think that in many ways it was horribly disfigured. He gave himself to the people. I think that's pretty much agreed. And it is so completely frowned upon in most societies to do that for anyone. The level of selfishness as a mentality is forced upon us. No, you need to think more about yourself. You shouldn't try to help the world because you're in no position to do so. When helping the world is really easy, minute. You work on yourself, you be a positive force for others, they improve others, and you continue to do what you need to do. If you get help along the way, well then all the better for you. Not always the case. You can't let it bother you, you still have to keep going. And I think I've mentioned this before about religion or spirituality or just life, because, and I'll put it to this way, I believe in everything, and that includes believing in nothing, and I've probably repeated myself several times about this, and I'm gonna explain again. It doesn't matter the gods, the beings, the spirits, the energy, the magic, or not. You could be atheist, you could be agnostic, you could praise Jesus, you could praise Jehovah, you could praise Satan, you could praise Muhammad or Buddha or whomever. Don't let it detract from your life. Don't let it detract from any other people's lives. Don't force your ideas upon them. You can suggest, you can make ideas, you can ask questions. But you live solid, you live nobly. If somebody has a good thing going for them, let them be. Who cares if they're gay? Only you do. We are the only creatures in this world that can give meaning to anything. There is no other meaning to anything save for what we give it. Anything that you do has, or anything that you've done has happened. Done. It's over. Where are you now? What do you have left? Pick up the pieces, make do with what you got, and try to make it better. And if you have a moment to help someone else, do so, because it improves not only their life, but it improves yours, simply by being. And a smile changes the world. I've been given a lot of disagreement as to my state of being as of late. People don't understand. And yeah, I've made mistakes. I've got my own personal flaws. People tell me one way or the other, and I take it in. I think about it. They argue with me about my understanding, or how I attempt to reach understanding. I ask loads of questions, and people say that I'm over analytical, or I'm thinking too much, that I'm asking too many questions. If I really understood, I wouldn't be disrespectful. I wouldn't this and that. You know what? If I don't know what people think. Everybody's different. I don't know what you think. I don't know what they think. You only know what comes out of my mouth. And these things change in people.